Greetings and welcome to us Rauta's Assassin's Creed Shadow stream. No Helldivers yet because it's too late for me today to learn a new game and all that stuff, so it's gonna be something like 1 hour or less with the stream and gaming session, so I guess I should make that count. So hopefully the rest of the weekend we'll have more time off for various projects, including starting that Helldivers, but it depends how the evening goes. And so already hostiles around here. Barely did anything. Hello, Black Widow. I'm fine, thank you, except I think I have inflammation in my left thigh, and also I just learned a couple of hours ago that my sad interview, the one with the black metal band from Greece, is missing a couple of minutes from the end. So my editor was taking care of it, fixed that, and just that she had uploaded the new version, which means it sucks because in YouTube you cannot just replace the old video, meaning you have to re-upload the video, and then you have to do everything again, including adding texts, links, thumbnail, and of course you will lose all the view count. So it's not really in the end too much trouble, but it means like the new video won't have the original commentators and questions and whatever, so I'll have to fix it, but I don't want to do it today because it's almost midnight. I will just relax for this next 45 minutes or so before heading to bed. So yeah, I will just fix the new version tomorrow. I will leave the old one hidden and then publish the new one. So yeah, some comments will be not lost because I will keep them both, and obviously those who found the original version of the interview through a link like Facebook or whatever, will still be able to see it and see their comments, but the new people won't be able to find it because it really makes no sense. But in this case, I'll keep both versions. Usually I just delete the old version in case I notice those mistakes before it's published. This is on me because I didn't watch it through when I got the edited version, nor did the band comment that, hey, there's something weird with that stuff. So yeah, I was counting it to be like totally fine and all. So in the end, it's not big deal. Only a couple of minutes were like, in the end, only a couple of minutes were like lost. So people basically saw everything except the final words, whatever. But yeah, it kind of annoys me that when the comments are also lost, you know, people kind of, you know, in a way lose something, but it's no big deal in the end. Just a little bit extra work. But and in the end, we'll survive. Well, technically speaking, I could, but in a way, it also makes no sense since I already got this edited version. So, better to keep it just one place, but because it's already, by the time I have the time to fix it, it's already been out so many hours. Hold on, I'll put in a pause and see the message. Oops.
Good suggestion though.
I asked my editor how much there was missing, and she couldn't give me an exact, you know, information about that, which I understand, because after all, it's hard to estimate how much was missing. But she said probably around 10% with the ending comments and whatever. So in this sense, it made just sense to do the new version and upload it. In the end, adding those texts can be pretty much copy pasted and all that stuff. So while there was stuff lost in a way, you know, in the end, those comments, while they will be lost, in the end, it's not that. In the end, most of the manual work can be just added. I mean, if it wasn't too late today, I would fucking do it right away. But to be honest, I don't have the fucking energy. I'm a little bit too tired, and yeah, that's pretty much my excuse for not fixing it right away. So when the new version is out, it's just totally fine. And it's not really hurting the channel, just a little bit of extra work basically.
How do you feel about connection?
connection. I have heard the band name, but I don't really remember hearing it. If you're referring to the band, I mean.
Bought the full-length albums today after listening a bit. Pretty good. High energy.
This is weird.
Moon vinyl too.
What are we drinking now? Well, I still have this Glenmorangie 18 years old whiskey, so I'm sipping that. I mean, supposed to sip that. I haven't yet had a single sip of that. Sorry I missed your comments, Freedom Frog, about buying some new albums and all. I was a little bit distracted right there. Today I got a nice box of albums from Darkness, Redefining Darkness Productions. I just got Ask Them vinyl and CD. I think it's because that guy in the band has previously sent his stuff for Rauta and wanted me to review the new material as well. And I think he made it happen really, because he contacted me recently and wanted to, me to review it. And asked me if I had gotten the. Hold on, I have to recharge the pad. So he was asking me if I have gotten the CD or LP already, and I said no. And maybe then he contacted the label like, hey, can you send this channel guy, an album for review? Because now it is here. And
that's awesome.
And with that package, I wouldn't be mentioning if it was just a single CD or vinyl that came, but with that, vinyl and CD, he managed to get me sent for review. There was also like something like 5 or 6 other CDs, including like the latest Master's Hammer and all. So it seems like the label wanted, to really support me with other stuff as well, which makes sense in the sense that, once you send something out, it saves money in a way to send a little bit more, because in the end the basic package, costs quite a bit. So that was a nice surprise, because now there's Master's Hammer and some other, don't know if they're important, hard for me to say at this point, but some interesting CDs to review in addition to that Ask Them stuff. So I'm like, hey, this is a nice surprise. I was just surprised because it was delivered me to my home door, and I was like, what the hell is coming? Usually those normal packages, they just like come normally to the mailbox and shit. So this was in a way they,
How was karaoke night?
Karaoke night? What the hell are you talking about? I didn't do karaoke. That was, or did you mean Black Widow. I for sure wasn't going for karaoke. I hate karaoke.
That was a question for Black Widow.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Misunderstood. So what are you guys drinking today? That would be my question, because Black Widow already suggested that we were drinking something.
It was fun and great.
Yeah, I'm glad that Black Widow did it, not us. She would put us into shame.
I'm drinking resin double IPA.
Oh, I love
Red wine smiling.
I love double IPAs. So, Black Widow has homemade red wine. Well, I gotta say, I didn't expect that to happen. Haha, awesome. But I also died. Did I? Yes. I wanted to do amazing explosion, which I did. But in addition,
whiskey but never wine. How is it?
I hope I didn't get my mask thrown too far away with this death. Gotta reply to the editor. Alright, all set up for tomorrow. I had to do a little bit of planning about tomorrow's trip. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit different route this time. Let's see if there's something more interesting, or if it would be just nicer in general. I don't know if it is or if there's difference, but I'll just go this way. Okay, or not. Anyway, indeed, I'm sitting down with my cameraman tomorrow and plan a little bit what can we do with Rauta next year in terms of interviews and all, or more like planning the trips so we can plan the interviews. So maybe a little bit too early to plan the actual trips planned interviews while we are not even decided where and when we will go. But everything starts with a little bit planning. I hope that
I look forward to it.
so. Once we know a little bit more what there is first and foremost available for us, like in terms of schedule and whatever, then we will know better, like how to plan the trip in the sense of, which festivals would be out there for us. Because the tricky thing is when people have, so limited amount of summer holiday and all that stuff, it makes this planning important. And of course, sometimes the festivals will overlap with one another, meaning you might find some cool festival.
Grave Fest in Bucharest.
Is it good? And more importantly, when is this Old Grave Festival? Because we're definitely, or at least I am hoping to visit some new festival, something that we have never ever been to. Like, of course we're going to now Inferno once again, our fourth time so far. But I also don't want to just see always the same places.
I drove back to the United States today. I would have liked to stay in Canada a bit longer, but my friend had to catch her flight.
9th of October. That's actually nice because we don't have anything planned for next fall except for the gathering. And those fall festivals are a little bit easier to plan versus the summer ones, because summer holidays are always, competing with other summer festivals and all that stuff, so it's always tricky. Oh, and it's good to know that you're getting back home, Freedom Frog, even though I understand that it would have been cooler to spend a little bit more time doing the trip. Let's not do the same mistake again I just did, so I'm saving the game here.
I'm actually planning to go to Romania in the summer. Going to visit some national parks. I think I told you about the cherry. Should be fun.
Hey, this is fierce. Also planning those festivals is a little bit tricky for us at the moment because we don't really have the budget yet. we're just waiting the money to come in for the YouTube advertisements and from Patreon supporters. So like for example, now our Rauta's bank account, it has very little cash left because the money was spent on Inferno Festival as well as that trip to Greece. But the good thing is we're just barely in December, barely and barely. So we will have money coming in for the coming months. So by June or July, we will have enough money to do flights and stuff. That's cheap, Black Widow. Yeah, sounds really good. And I would love if I could visit a new festival, or even better, a new festival and a new country. Like I said, I've never been to Romania, so it would be really cool to do something like that. Can you please mention the festival name again, so I can write it down? I didn't have my phone ready when you mentioned it.
A lot of Romania is just forest and mountains. I think thousands of km of forest.
That sounds good, Charulamp.
Oh, great fest.
Thank you, Black Widow. I'll write it down. Pause the game meanwhile. Old grave.
For the festivals.
Okay, now it's written on my list. The thing is, there are so many festivals these days all over the world, and it's really hard to keep track on them. I do have a good site, which has a lot of festivals listed.
Bombastic evening, but that is in Alta Iulia in summer.
Yeah, I mean, summer is definitely possible still, but certain dates are not just possible. Like at the moment, it seems like we're unable to attend Mystic Festival because it's in the early June, and at the moment I have some other plans for those dates. August might be tricky in case we are going to be on the gates, as the first festival in August, because that would mean our pockets are pretty empty by then. So at the moment I'm looking for something that could be done in June or July. But in the end it's more about... Hello, Baltimore white boy. Whenever my birthday is 9th of August. Nicely you remembered that I have my birthday in August. But so usually the Beyond the Gates is like the first weekend of August, so like a week before my birthday. And Helsinki Metal Festival is week after Beyond the Gates, which will be the same weekend I have my...
Donation helps a little bit with travel plans.
Yes, Freedom Frog. Definitely all donations have... You have been donating a few times, I have noticed. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. And of course it does. Every single dime counts. I mean, of course, when we're talking about... When we're talking about hundreds of euros, of hundreds of dollars worth traveling costs, of course it's always a big deal, but I mean, really, every dollar, every euro counts. And if I would be, doing some kind of a begging thing, I would fucking do, crowdfunding campaign. But I'm not because, well, first of all, you know, I don't want to be that much dependent on people. And secondly, crowdfunding would mean I have to give something back, something else than just an interview. I mean, basically the interview could be all that is needed, but I mean, it's a whole different ball game to do some kind of a crowdfunding campaign than just wait for enough money to be gotten from YouTube advertisements and whatnot, and then plan the trip. So I don't wanna depend on crowdfunding as long as it's possible, unless it's something special like, hey, let's do Dark Throne or Bergum interview, because they don't tour, they don't do interviews at festivals for obvious reasons. So for what I'm saying here is, of course, I try to fund all these trips based on on these advertisement income, and so far that thing has worked very, very nicely. It doesn't mean we can do multiple trips each year, but we can do at least usually a couple of foreign festivals. The good thing with Finnish festival is, of course, we don't need to have flights, which saves us a lot of money. And also, for example, at Steelfest we have this really cheap Airbnb, which is a lot cheaper than various alternatives in other countries. First of all, we have this good deal, and there is enough of people, which makes the place a lot cheaper versus even typical Airbnb or Booking.com apartments. So Steelfest is always very excuse me. Steelfest is always very cost efficient for us. It doesn't cost as much for us to go there, and also means we can do always a lot of interviews at Steelfest. So that's kind of a no-brainer. Even more it is with Turku Saatanalla, because that's in my home city. I just need basically to book a place to sleep. I mean, I could come home, but that would be more expensive with taxis and all during the nights than having a place like a cheap hotel or whatever shared with my friend, like I'm already having for 26. So that's also very cost efficient, because me and the cameraman, we both live in Turku, this home city of us. So here we can do interviews basically no cost, which means we can save the money for trips, for foreign trips. But the foreign trips then again cost a lot of money, which means if we go to Inferno or Beyond the Gates or whatever festival, there are always those flight costs and hotels in order to do it. That Greek trip was relatively cheap because there was only me traveling, so there was like half the flight costs, and the apartment was paid for me, so I didn't have to pay for myself. So yeah, it was not exactly cost efficient, but that was a bad start. So it wasn't cost efficient, but still quite cheap. So in that sense, every dollar, every euro, everything counts. God damn, these are long ones. Fuck. Almost. Almost.
We have in Bucharest lots of concerts, even a black metal festival.
That sounds very good,
That's
Black
awesome.
Widow. How really this is suddenly so hard? I don't get the pacing here. What the fuck?
I would think New England would have a bigger scene. There are some decent bands in Maine though.
Yeah, I would imagine in bigger states in USA there are lots of active scenes. Okay, I'm gonna just once again save my nerves and do a little bit of like this.
Yeah, Underground for the masses, it is called Wormia, was there this year.
Okay, sounds good. I really can't focus on the comments when I'm doing this, so decided to make it simplified this time. And still fucking failing. What the hell? This is not responding. Oh.
I think New England was in this no more for hardcore scene.
Okay, sorry to hear that, Gyro Lamb. What the hell? Now it's not even responding. What the fuck?
Very true, Gyro.
Okay. I don't have the energy for this shit. For focusing in the game, I can focus on your comments. Lazy ass gamer here. Hello. So how is the New England scene? How has it changed so much then?
Lots of death metal and hardcore.
Okay, well, lots of death metal doesn't sound too bad for me. The difference between us when it comes to death metal is like we have decent death metal things, but it's mostly those, you know, lesser known underground acts which are cheaper. So it's not like we get a lot of bigger death metal acts here. Even bands like
Before he passed, that was some time ago. Hey, Truth came out of there, also Converge and so on.
All right, Gerald, that sounds good. Now for us, it's different. Even getting bands like say Blood Incantation. I mean, they're relatively big. After all, they're one of the headlining acts now in now at Beyond the Gates next year. But what I really mean is,
also funk came from there, especially Boston, like Dropkick Murphys, for example.
yeah, I remember that band. So what I'm saying here is, we don't get too many of these any kind of bigger death metal bands here, you know. So it's always like some more like some local ones, or then more like some has-beens. You know, it's I hate to say it, but I mean that kind of a tales like there is not strong enough death metal scene over here as opposed to fuck. I need to be going. I will have to finish. Sorry. Just after I've gotten this viewpoint. So what I'm saying here is, for us, the death metal scene is so much smaller versus the black metal scene. Means we don't really get those bigger bands like we don't really get see bands like D-Side very easily. I mean, luckily they finally played here last year at Finnish the Helsinki Metal Fest. But for many years, people tried to get D-Side here, and there was like countless of times when D-Side was just not able to come. Like there were so many attempts to get them to play here that it became a joke. Like whenever D-Side, for example, is booked here, it would always get cancelled, and not for the cancel culture reasons, but always like D-Side would cancel their gig more or less last minute. There was like at least 4 times, maybe 5 times when D-Side was supposed to play in Finland, and always that gig would end up cancelled. So that one time they actually played in Finland before last year was when I couldn't see them. So it became kind of like this joke, like D-Side is coming to Finland, except that they're not. People wouldn't believe that they would actually play here. So it became a really, really fucking stupid thing. Well, yeah, Gyro it was very irritating because after all, we're talking about D-Side here. We're not talking about some, I don't know, C-class death metal band. So it was very, very, yeah. I mean, D-Side is good on albums and good live. I've seen them now twice within 2 years. First at Beyond the Gates when they did the Legion set like 2 years ago, and last year in Finland, finally. And now I'm kind of like satisfied because especially when the gigs were different. But, excuse me. But the point was, it was really, really irritating that you would end up waiting for that kind of band and it would never come. Now this time we were also lucky with Helsinki Metal Festival because finally like Dismember made a comeback gig. So now it has been a little bit better in terms of those bigger and older death metal acts. Even Napalm Death, which is of course more grindy, but still, played a show here at the Helsinki Metal Festival. But too many times it's more like that these bigger bands are not coming here because the death metal scene is just not, kind of a big enough versus black metal scene. And so in black metal scene, in terms, we get to see the, bands like Marduk and Gorgoroth and Take and Watain and all that stuff rather common. They are not strangers here. Or Satyricon or Abbath playing Immortal 2. We had now this Bathory Tributes show. And of course bands like Behemoth, Rotting Christ. So what I'm saying here, Dimmu Borgir, Cradle of Filth. All those big black metal bands are coming here. All those mid-sized black metal bands are coming here. And also a lot of these cult small black metal bands are coming to places like Steelfest or Turku Saatanalle. But when it comes to death metal, it's more like, hey, good luck seeing this and that band there. So what like Gyro Lamb said, yeah, Finland was mostly known for melodic death metal things like Children of Bodom, or back in the days when, Amorphis was still doing death metal, and a lot of other cult names from the 90s, early 2000s, what have you. So things are a little bit different. And of course, nowadays we have bands like Insomnium and Omnium Cathedrum, which are big in the sense of melodic death metal. But like said, when it comes to more traditional death metal, like say Benediction or whatever, it's not so given that we get to see those here. So it kind of sucks. But I could go on about this rant for hours, or not maybe hours, but a long time. But unfortunately, I have to go because wakey up call is in 8 hours.
I love Omnium's smiling face with hard eyes.
I am supposed to. I was just being contacted about doing a new interview with Omnium Cathedrum. Let's see. Let's hope I get to do a new one with them. There's an older one which I did a few years ago at Nordic Metal Cruise, which is still out there. That's when I met the guys, and they turned out to be really nice guys. Anyway, hopefully when I'm back tomorrow from my meeting up with the cameraman, I hope that I will be doing another stream here on Rauta. So hopefully, people, if you don't have better things to do on Saturday night, grab some drinks, join me for the stream for more talking and gaming and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, Gerald, go enjoy some of the interviews. At least there's new sad interview available now. And next week is coming the last interview for the year. Life Lover. I should be adding texts and information to that interview video tomorrow, and then I will be sharing it with Rauta's Patreon supporters, and then it will be public next week, meaning right after Christmas, so next Friday. But now, good night, people, and thanks for being with me on the stream. Catch you later, most likely tomorrow. Bye-bye and good night.